We haven't heard about the Nine in a while, but that doesn't mean they're absent from the game's story. Season of the Wish is all about the Ahamkara, their story, great hunt, and purpose now when entering the Pale Heart. Many new Wish Dragon stories are told through some lore, and it makes you wonder how it connects to past tales. Tales from groups like the Nine, who had their own Ahamkara and killed them, even making wishes. Today we discuss these mysteries. If you take a look at the extinction entry from book The Dreaming City, we see something interesting happen with the Nine. After the Battle of Saturn, where Mara sacrifices herself for the plan, the Nine became frightened. These creatures, whatever they are, these dark matter entities, depend on life in our system to survive, and given now that it was under attack, they too were threatened when Oryx stormed through Mara's throne world, taking nearly everything and eventually entering the Dreaming City, where he partially took Riven.
At least until a king arrived and made a bargain I could not refuse. I became both king and dragon. I spoke with his voice, and Tyrannus knew it.
The Nine learned about this and were spooked even further. Oryx went after Riven, and the Nine knew where other Ahamkara were. She has ruined everything. Such blind arrogance. We are lost. Hurry. He will recruit them all if we do not act now. What can we do? Done cannot be undone. Everything is lost. Kill them where they creep and crawl. Let their bones whisper not. The children. They are not our children. We have no time for sentiment. It is this, or we lay ourselves bare before the veil. No, no, we must before he takes them all. Imagine his power. Reach together now. No, 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 then our touch be lethal. Riven, we will it so. The dreamer is lost, call the rest. That our judgment be true, we will it so. So the Nine always speak like this, and it's kind of weird to read and hear, but an interesting card. They start by blaming Mara for this. She's ruined everything. We know these two have a connection, Mara and the Nine, and even Osiris, but most of their inner workings and deals are still a mystery themselves. They say he, Oryx, will recruit them all if the Nine do not act. Oryx has taken Riven in this card, so the Nine suggests killing some of the other Ahamkara where they creep, let their bones be silent so Oryx can't get a hold of them. Some of the Nine disagree, but together they form the decision to will it so and end the creatures. They say it is this or we lay ourselves bare before the veil. That line is also intriguing nowadays. Were they speaking about the veil like the one on Neptune? Or just wanting to end the creatures so Oryx doesn't show up and kill the other Ahamkara? That seems more likely. The biggest part of all of this for me was that this was during the Taken War, long after the Great Hunt. So Riven was thought to be the last known Ahamkara, but the Nine had a few others. The big overview of the Nine we know about is that they want many things. There's 9 of them, of course, and they're split into 2 separate little factions. Some of them have tried to create physical bodies for themselves, some have used darkness or light, and even made wishes to an Ahamkara. Ahamkara are tricky creatures, and the Nine are also mysterious and cunning. Ikora Rey makes it fly away. You weren't after that bone, it was after you. Did you make a wish, Lavinia? Did you ask to know about the Nine? She tries to explain that she didn't, that she only wanted to track the bone back to its source, Venus, hopefully, and to learn why the Nine needed the Ahamkara. Why do you think the Nine needed Ahamkara? Ikora asks dangerously. To make wishes, Lavinia pants. Zur didn't appear in the tower until the end of the Great Ahamkara hunt. Whatever they used to get from the Ahamkara, she leaves it unsaid. Maybe the Nine are now getting it from the Guardians. It suggested that Zur was created by the Nine from an Ahamkara wish. That would be pretty epic and kinda makes some sense when you think about it. "Hey Wish Dragon, we want physical bodies, so grant this wish for us." The creatures are like, "Alright, here you go," and you get a half-man tentacle face who can't control his own will. The Nine have various emissaries from their experiments like this and now seek out the Guardians for their magical needs beyond that of the Ahamkara. In the Re-Extinction card, which also has that fitting name, the Nine reference the Ahamkara as the Children. So it also makes you wonder if they were creatures that already existed, Ahamkara that were born, or if they were eggs from somewhere like the ones we now collect this season. That part's speculation, but we know for sure that the Nine had contact with the Wish Dragons and even likely used them at one point with wishes. This all gets even more interesting if you tie in the recent lore with Seer Ido. We discussed Seer's death, the Nine, and the Great Hunt. When her body was found, there was a strange coin next to it, and when Orin, a guardian who would eventually turn into the emissary of the Nine, ventured to a cave and found where her body was, she found Zur, who said, "Forgive them." This season's new card details Seer Ido's fight against Hugin and Munin, the two Ahamkara found in the Dreaming City, well, their skulls at least. So whether that fight happened and caused or triggered Seer's death, we are unsure, but the Nine were involved, possibly because of these creatures.
I have heard it said that the Awoken brought the Ahamkara into this system, that we found them amid the ruins of the planet that we carved into the base of the Dreaming City. But if you ask me, they came from the Nine.
In the Motion to Vacate card released in Warmind, we see the flavored text, "Done cannot be undone." And if that sounds familiar, it's because it's from the Re-Extinction card we read earlier, which released in Forsaken just after Warmind. So the precursor to the earlier card says this: "Remember the slaughter. It was no slaughter. Our children. Stolen constructs, not ours. I can still hear the echoes. Hallucinations. 10,000 dying wishes. We were merciful. We should have chosen otherwise. The dreamer survived, only to fall. Rid yourselves of this regret." So that card may also possibly explain the connection between the Nine and the Ahamkara. Again, some of the Nine referred to the Ahamkara as their children, and others says, no, they're not ours, they're stolen constructs. They should have chosen otherwise, but the Dreamer survived, and I believe the Dreamer is often thought to be Riven. But Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. Some interesting backstory on the Nine and the Ahamkara and their possible connections. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.